You're watching KOCO5. Breaking news is happening now.
Welcome back here. Time now 12:37. We are giving you live special coverage of a procession about to start for fallen Oklahoma Highway Patrol Trooper Vernon Brake. Our first live image now of the hearse at the medical examiner's office in close to downtown Oklahoma City that's getting ready to transport his body to the funeral home there on Northeast 23rd. That's where you see KOCO's Megan Mosley standing by at the end of the procession route. It's set to be a powerful, emotional day for colleagues, his fellow troopers, his friends, his family. We have also learned the trooper did leave behind family members, a wife and 2 children who you have to have in your thoughts on a day like this. We are getting ready to give you that live coverage as we just now saw our first signs that this procession is getting ready to start. It's expected to take about 30 minutes, and we see the hearse now wheels in motion starting there and getting ready to turn onto Northeast 23rd Street. This is at the medical examiner's office. We know that first responders, fellow troopers are going to take part in this procession, the safe transfer of Trooper Brake's body. And we see there Northeast 23rd some of the traffic, and we just want to take a second here, let it breathe, let you feel the moment and take a listen in. You hear the sirens there as the procession takes off from the medical examiner's office. You saw the line of first responders, the motorcycles, fellow Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers, and it looked like some Oklahoma City police officers that are going to be involved there as they take off down Northeast 23rd Street. Our live coverage will continue. We have crews set up throughout the route here so we can give you these live images. We are also at the funeral home where Trooper Brake's body is being transported right now to Bill Eisenhower Funeral Home down on Northeast 23rd Street. Megan Mosley is there. We'll check in with her. Trooper Vernon Brake, just weeks away from marking 20 years with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, killed tragically in a crash yesterday on I-35. One of 3 victims killed in that crash, a mother and her 4-year-old child, also lost their lives just yesterday, close to 24 hours ago now, as we now watch the procession take place, the transportation of his body to the funeral home. Megan Mosley is there at Bill Eisenhower Funeral Home. Megan, we just saw the procession taking off already, saw some of the somber moments, the sirens going, and everybody headed in your direction now to that funeral home where it is going to be a very heavy day, especially for friends and for family.
Cameron, that's right. And just hearing it through the IFB, it's a pretty somber day for his brothers in blue. Now, we are here at Bill Eisenhower Funeral Home. You can see that the flag is lowered at half staff as we are waiting for the hearse to come by with Trooper Vernon Brake inside of it. Now, of course, they're going to be heading down 23rd Street, arriving at any moment here. They're not here just yet. We know it's about a 15-minute route that's going to be here, but I want to tell you a little background on Trooper Brake. He was a decorated law enforcement trooper, a dad, husband, and so much more. Now, we know that he spent time volunteering with the Cavett Kids Foundation as a camp counselor, and they're remembering him as a gentle giant. And Cameron, we're even going to speak to them later today and get an interview about who exactly he was and hearing more about his story. Now, again, we are here waiting for that procession to arrive here at Bill Eisenhower Funeral Home on 23rd Street. We know that traffic will be blocked off as they are heading down this direction. And Cameron, you told me it just took off, so we're going to stand by and wait for it as they get here with Trooper Brake, along with his friends and family, and of course, brothers in blue. Cameron, back to you.
Yeah, and we now have our next sign of the procession showing up here. We are at about the middle point of this procession where it's taking place. You see that line of motorcycles on 23rd Street making their way to that funeral home. Powerful, powerful moments as we watch them take off, the sirens going, and now they make their way through Oklahoma City. I wonder if we could step aside again here, just kind of listen in on exactly what it sounds like out there as we take the live looks at it. It's Oklahoma Highway Patrol there, joined by Oklahoma City Police as well. Part of this procession that's taking place, we saw the hearse where Trooper Brake was being transported. Megan made the mention that Trooper Brake donated time as well to kids' foundations. He was a common sight to see at Oklahoma Hospital, at OU Hospital, I should say, volunteering time with kids. I mean, this was someone who dedicated his life to service in Oklahoma, close to 20 years with Oklahoma Highway Patrol. Taken tragically in a crash yesterday, and it really has been news that I think everybody across the state can feel, and a reminder of just how fragile life can be, especially for first responders who do put their lives on the line like this. It's just a really, really sad moment for the state, for first responders, also for other victims of this crash. We know a mother and a 4-year-old, her daughter also died in this crash, just tragic in all facets. Trooper Vernon Brake there, close to 20 years of service with Oklahoma Highway Patrol. He spent a significant amount of his time assigned to Troop S, that was Commercial Motor Vehicle Enforcement, graduated from the academy in 2006, served in Oklahoma and Logan counties. We also have an ODOT camera that's in the area of the procession here. That's what you're looking at now. We expect to see the procession coming through once again. After it took off from the medical examiner's office, it's going to make its way to the funeral home. It's about a 15-minute drive down Northeast 23rd Street. We saw the law enforcement blocking off intersections as they made their way through, transporting the hearse that is carrying Trooper Brake to Bill Eisenhower Funeral Home. Here on KOCO 5 News, we have some of the statements that have come in since this news came out. State Senator Chuck Hall, quote, "He was a courageous man and a loving husband and father. His loss leaves a hole that will be deeply felt by all who knew him. May his service and sacrifice never be forgotten." Similar sentiment from the governor, from State Senator James Lankford. Here's a comment from State Representative Colin Dool. "I stand with many others in this community in telling his surviving wife and 2 children that we will be there for them when they need us." And I think that goes back to what a lot of people across the state will feel thinking about the family members that are now left behind after such a tragic crash yesterday. We go back to that ODOT camera where we are standing by to hopefully get a good view of the procession coming through. This gives us a different angle and interesting perspective here as we have our crews on the ground, and there come some of the motorcycles that are leading this procession. You see them blocking off the traffic there along Northeast 23rd so they can safely move the procession through. We saw a somewhat similar scene yesterday, a procession from the scene of the crash to the medical examiner's office. We brought you coverage of that here on KOCO, and now special coverage today of the procession that's taking place to the funeral home there along Northeast 23rd Street. There go some of those law enforcement, the first responders, Oklahoma City Police joining the Oklahoma Highway Patrol for this procession. That's right there at I-35 and 23rd where they're making their way through. You see some of those white vehicles, Oklahoma Highway Patrol units, and some of the motorcycles as well. And there goes what looks like the hearse there that's carrying the state trooper. Powerful stuff here in Oklahoma today, going right across Northeast 23rd in Oklahoma City to that funeral home. Still waiting to get more details about potential funeral proceedings for the state trooper. But right now the focus is on this transportation, this sign of respect from his fellow first responders, from his fellow state troopers. Powerful as they pay their respects. And you think about the family today that's been impacted. And we don't overlook that yesterday this crash took the life of 3 different people. It was also a mother and a 4-year-old child that lost their lives in a crash on I-35 yesterday. This shows you the procession from yesterday, from the scene of the crash down I-35, where his body was taken to the medical examiner's office. Powerful yesterday as well. We know the investigation still underway into this crash. As we work to get more information about that, of course, we'll follow it here on KOCO. But today, the opportunity to put the focus on the trooper, to pay respects to the trooper, and to think back about the life and the legacy that he leaves behind. 20 years serving with Oklahoma Highway Patrol, serving his state, trying to protect and serve. The governor pretty quickly issued a statement yesterday, quote, "For nearly 20 years, Trooper Brake served Oklahoma with integrity and dedication. Sarah and I are praying for his wife, children, all those affected by this loss. We are also uplifting in prayer the woman and young child who lost their lives in the incident as well." Signs of how fragile life can be. The trooper was in the line of duty. This crash happened suddenly, his life taken suddenly, and now just 24 hours later, paying respects to the trooper. In a moment, you have to think about the family. This was so unexpected, so heartbreaking, what's happened here just yesterday, and now we watch as that procession moves through Oklahoma City to that funeral home. I wonder if we can go back out to Megan Mosley. Megan, I know you're at the funeral home. Has there been anyone else out there? I have to imagine people waiting for the procession to make their way there. I know that the flag was down at half-staff, and I know it's just going to be a really, really powerful, emotional, sad, frankly, day there at this funeral home. Friends, family, the colleagues, all that are going to be there to pay their respects.
Cameron, absolutely a solemn day for Trooper Brake as we are awaiting for that procession to head down 23rd Street. You can still see traffic is flowing pretty well right now. They have not made it here yet. We're going to pan to the funeral home so you can see there are a couple of cars in the parking lot. We don't see any family or friends standing around or anything. No one is here quite yet. There are a few cars. As you can see, though, the traffic is still flowing all right for right now. That procession has not made it just yet. We know they should make it down this road moments from now. We are waiting for this procession to begin and arrive here at the funeral home. Again, like you said, that flag is at half-staff to pay respects to Trooper Vernon Brake and his time in serving our state, serving as a trooper for Oklahoma. You know, that's a really tough job, and of course, we respect all of our law enforcement officers and their service for us, but of course, we're going to continue to follow it. I want to show you traffic, though, is still, it's not blocked off yet. I know cars aren't coming this direction right now, but it's not blocked off just yet. We know they're going to make their way down 23rd Street. You know, they have to block off traffic at each intersection, so it might take a bit longer than we expected. But of course, we're going to be here as that procession makes its way to the funeral home. And of course, as friends and families and his brother in blue pay their respects to Trooper Vernon Brake. Cameron, I'm going to send it back to you.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick trip down Northeast 23rd Street. Just a matter of minutes, we expect the procession to start to show up there at the funeral home where Megan is, and we will, of course, be checking in with her to give you the live images of that. We watched it take off from the medical examiner's office just a few minutes ago, and such a powerful moment. The sirens going off with the first responders there leading the procession there with the hearse in tow. We saw Oklahoma City police officers and state troopers there. This is from Edmond Police yesterday, a sign of respect from them. They lit their memorial up in blue in honor of Trooper Vernon Brake. Really powerful at the statue there just outside the police department. The trooper survived by his wife and 2 children. Our thoughts are with them today, just weeks away from marking 20 years as a trooper with Oklahoma Highway Patrol. We heard from Lieutenant Mark Southall at the scene yesterday. This is the first time in years that a trooper has died in the line of duty. This is a really sad day in Oklahoma, and just somebody who's signed up to serve, to protect, to put their life on the line, and to see an outcome like this is devastating for everybody across the state, no doubt. We've heard so many great things about the trooper, the kind of man that he was, a father, a wife, that he was the guy who showed up in the Easter Bunny costume to put smiles on kids' faces. He spent time at OU Hospital to put smiles on kids' faces. This was someone that was really highly regarded and respected. And here's some of the sentiments that have come in. We heard from State Senator Chuck Hall, that is from Perry. He was a courageous man, he said, and a loving husband and father. His loss leaves a hole that will be deeply felt by all who knew him. May his service and his sacrifice never be forgotten. And I think processions like this are so important so that we do never forget. It's such an opportunity to show our respect to someone who served our state. And the other quote there, "I stand with many others in this community in telling his surviving wife and 2 children that we will be there for them when they need us." That's from State Representative Colin Dewell. We know that the trooper spent close to 20 years on the force. He did the majority of his time with Troop S, which is commercial motor vehicle enforcement. Graduated from the academy in 2006, was out on patrol just yesterday, just over 24 hours ago, when that tragic crash happened on I-35 on the north side of the metro, close to Hefner Road. We know that a mother and her 4-year-old child were in the other vehicle that hit the trooper head on. They crossed that center barrier and hit the trooper head on in an absolutely devastating scene yesterday that we saw on I-35. Just tragic. And we know that the trooper was pronounced dead at the scene. We watched the procession take his body from the scene to the medical examiner's office, and now we watch from the medical examiner's office to the funeral home here today in what has been a powerful morning. Hearing those sirens playing from the first responders that were leading the procession. We know the investigation into the crash itself is still in the early phases. It's something we expect to get more information about, but the focus today has been on that trooper, on the life, the legacy that he leaves behind, on the respect that's being paid by his colleagues, his fellow troopers, from law enforcement agencies across the state, from the city level to the state level. You heard from Edmond Police Department. We showed you the respects they paid. We've heard from Oklahoma Attorney General Gentner Drummond, from Oklahoma City Mayor David Holt, from the County Sheriff's Office, of course from Edmond Police, Norman Police Department. We've heard from the Game Wardens, Choctaw Police Department. I mean, you name it. The respects have been paid and the sentiments have been shared by just about everybody. I want to get back out to a live look and want to step aside and listen in here as we start to hear the sirens make their way to that funeral home.
All right, so we just watched that procession for Trooper Vernon Brake. It just arrived here at Bill Eisenhower Funeral Home. Really a solemn and powerful tribute to a life of service. You see here the line of law enforcement vehicles that are it stretched for miles, each one representing a colleague, a friend, a community member paying their respects. This is the final ride home for a trooper who dedicated his life to protecting others. You can see here different law enforcement agencies out here paying their respects as they just arrived at the Bill Eisenhower Funeral Home for Trooper Break. You see it there, guys.
Yeah, we hear the sirens too there. Today, the sirens are meant to pay respect. The emergency sirens going off as we give you a live look at the hearse there carrying Trooper Break, showing up to the funeral home on a powerful, sad, emotional day here in Oklahoma. That's the Bill Eisenhower Funeral Home where this procession is just concluded. We know that the body has been transported there from the medical examiner's office. Trooper Vernon Brake, close to 20 years of service with Oklahoma Highway Patrol, tragically taken yesterday in a crash on I-35. As you see some of the state troopers, Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers, there going inside the funeral home to pay their respects as well. We saw the motorcycles, we saw some of those units, the units of the state troopers showing up, and there are some of the motorcycles there. Oklahoma City police officers as well in tow to pay their respects for this state trooper who lost his life tragically in the line of duty. A tragic crash all around yesterday on I-35. We know 3 victims involved. The state trooper, who was just closing in on 20 years, leaves behind a wife and 2 children. We know that funeral proceedings are set to follow here in the coming days. Of course, we'll give you information on that as soon as we get it. But the trooper's body has been transported now to the funeral home there on Northeast 23rd at Bill Eisenhower Funeral Home. KOCO's Megan Mosley was standing by for that. We've given you live coverage of this procession. We will continue to cover this story as it develops, of course, in the coming days. As soon as we get, again, information on any funeral proceedings, the entire state impacted by this story, feeling for this family that has so tragically lost a loved one. And just a moment here to pay respect to someone who put their life on the line, who decided to serve our state and so tragically lost their lives while doing exactly that. KOCO 5 News here is giving you the live coverage of this procession. That will continue our coverage on this story as we continue to get new developments on it throughout the day here, throughout the weeks ahead. And we will wrap up our coverage here on KOCO 5 News. For now, we'll get you back to your regularly scheduled programming. We'll have more on this story coming up. Newscast tonight, 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. And we hope to see you then. Have a great day.